Thank you so much, Peter. It's great to see Peter and now Madeline Fraser-Cook, who I think was our third employee, and so many familiar faces. Joe Kreisberg, who I haven't seen in 15 or 20 years, or whatever it is. Joe, great to see you. Gosh, is that Matt next to you, Joe? Great to see you, Matt. It's really fun and inspiring for me to come back and see folks, and humbling to recognize that probably almost no one else in this room knows who the heck I am, because I got out of town. I got out of Dodge in 2004, and was just so pleased to keep in touch and see what's going on. So I'm going to say a few remarks and then turn it over to Becky. But really, I'm here at the discretion of Ed and staff to just share a little bit on the founding days and years of New Ecology. My tenure was exactly 5 years as founder and first president. I guess as an entrepreneur, what I sort of excel at doing is getting things started and then hoping others will succeed in taking the baton. And I'm so delighted to see how Ed and you all have done that. As Peter noted, I founded New Ecology in 1999 as a bookend to the first nonprofit that I had co-founded based in Roxbury called Alternatives for Community and Environment, an environmental justice law center that my colleague Charlie Lord and I founded in 1993. And New Ecology was founded as the bookend really to shift from fighting bad projects, development projects, or LULUs, locally undesirable land use projects of the sort that we dealt with and often dealt with effectively at ACE, to a different kind of organization, a planning organization or planning-based, one that instead of fighting projects, bad projects, was about promoting good ones, green ones, affordable ones, in those very self-same communities like Roxbury and Dorchester and East Boston and Lawrence and Lowell. Brownfields redevelopment, green buildings, transit-oriented development, sustainable cities. These ideas were starting to gain a foothold in many US cities by the late 90s. And NEI was designed and launched to bring those ideas here to Boston, to Somerville, to Lowell, to Lawrence. And to do so really in partnership with organizations, many of which are represented here tonight, allies really, like EPA New England and John DeVillers, who was such a great friend and ally early on, like MACDC and Joe Kreisberg, like Matt and LISC, the Local Initiative Support Corporation, and a host of so many others, and forgive me if I fail to mention who you are. The idea of a new ecology was essentially an urban ecology, an environmentalism committed to community development and to social justice, to making cities greener and more inclusive at the same time, both and, not either or. We started in 1998, actually in December of 1998, not 1999, with a $100,000 grant from the Mabel Louise Riley Foundation. And that grant was made possible by two early champions. One, a Riley board member named Bob Holmes, and the other, a great friend of mine and of New Ecology, Greg Watson, both of whom understood that low-income neighborhoods could be green neighborhoods, had all the right ingredients, but lacked the planning, design, and policy resources. Following Riley's lead, other foundations quickly jumped on board, like the Barr Foundation, the Jesse B. Koch Charitable Trust, the Merck Family Fund, and the Idelson Foundation. And EPA New England really stepped up, thanks to John, as a big advocate of environmental justice and sustainability with a fairly significant 3-year grant as part of their then new Brownfield Showcase Community Program. NEI's early directors and advisors were truly outstanding. They included Becky Regan, two wonderful colleagues who were just here sharing a beer with us, Seth Jaffe and Ned Abelson, Gloria Cross-Imwase, Doug Foy, Greg Watson, Deval Patrick, and Scott Harshbarger. With offices in the Greenworks building in East Cambridge, Our first hire was a woman named Kit Perkins. How many of you in the room know or remember Kit? I think Kit, Peter, brought you to us, as we were just saying. And shortly after Kit was Madeline Fraser Cook, who's right up here in the front of the room. Kit had been a community developer at the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation, who, like me, was an avid telemark skier and a part-time Vermonter. So I figured that was a perfect match. Within a matter of months, we had more work than we could handle in 1999, so we started hiring young planners right out of MIT's Department of Urban Studies and Planning, like Madeline, where I had the privilege of teaching for almost 10 years, thanks to Larry Susskind and Bish Shanyal, two other great supporters of ours. And it was an early partnership, again, that helped us grow. In 2000, NEI hosted the first of what would become 5 annual conferences, the so-called Regional Sustainable Development Forums at MIT, featuring keynotes like Senator John Kerry and showcasing innovative sustainable development projects and strategies. I'm proud to say, and I think this is a historical fact, that Zipcar, based in Cambridge, debuted at our very first forum in 2000. Madeline, I think you were probably responsible for bringing Robin Chase and Zipcar to MIT and to the forum at a time when the idea of car sharing was not just radical, it was seen as ludicrous. Many of our NEI interns and staff went on to become leaders in the field, like Madeline Fraser Cook and Tricia Miller and Ariel Rosenberg-Marin and Will Bradshaw. Each has made their mark in this field in a really big way. 5 years later, after 1999, with 2 very young children, both born in Cambridge, and 2 growing nonprofits under my belt, I left Cambridge and NEI to run a foundation based in Vermont and Boulder, Colorado. It was a big leap, but I knew I was leaving the organization in not just solid hands, but great hands with Ed Connolly. And with Becky on the board, I knew this was built now to last. I'm so grateful and proud of what we started, and where you, Ed, and Becky, and all of the folks in this room have taken New Ecology. And thank you so much for including me tonight.